All right, everybody. Well, welcome back to the Scales Homestead. We know it's been a while. I put up that little video explaining why it's been a while, but we are back to the grind of filming work. We still been working, but we just back to actually filming us doing it. So me and Xander, are out in the little raised bed garden that we put in. As you can see, tomato plants are burnt up. The pepper plants are still doing good. We're gonna keep those for a little while longer. But today we are going to be working on getting all the weeds out of these beds, getting all the old tomato plants out of the beds. Over here in this bed we got a bunch of old vines and stuff that come up, and we're gonna get all that out of there, get everything kind of churned up, tilled up, and get everything ready to start planting our fall garden. Ashley is currently working on what we're going to be planting in the fall. Got a bunch more pepper plants over here. As you can see, there's peppers on them. We're gonna pick those as we go through here and clean these beds out, and you know, just get it going, get it set up, and get it ready for the fall time. So I'll probably just set y'all up somewheres and time lapse it. I mean, it's just weeding the garden. We're just gonna be pulling weeds, and we're gonna have the wheelbarrow over here. All the weeds we're just gonna pile up in a wheelbarrow and take up there and feed to the goats. You know, yeah, a bunch of them tomato bugs. I don't know what they're actually called, but we got a tomato that was bad. Look at all them bugs on it. It's a lot of them. So anyway, we're about to get out here and get busy because we got other stuff to do today besides this. So anyway, I'm gonna set y'all up on time lapse somewheres are watching us. Well, you see over here in this other bed right here, you see there's some tomatoes in here like this one. We're just gonna pull them off on there being green because well, we're about to rip all this out of there. So we'll just take the green ones and I don't know, eat fried green tomatoes or something with them. So it ain't many. It's only 4 or 5 of them in there, so it ain't gonna be that big of a deal. So anyway, I'm gonna set y'all up and we're gonna get to work. So it ended up being a little bit more than 4 or 5. We ended up with like 10 pretty decent tomatoes. Well, some of them's kind of tiny, but anyway, that's the spoils of leftover. So we're gonna get back to this. Okay, so we got all the tomato plants out, and you can see on this side's been weeded, that side hasn't yet. So just a comparison as to how much stuff was in there. We only got 3 pepper plants in this bed. We got 1 right here and 2 over there. But what we're gonna do next is gotta walk over here and get it. We got a oh, I don't know what you call it. Call it growed up in vines right now is what I call it. Hang on. All right, now then, I got it out of the vines. I'm breathing heavy because I'm fat and out of shape. So we have this cultivating tool. So we're gonna take that, stop it down in there, and just kind of go like this, just to break all this up and churn what little bit of weeds is left. It ain't many, but it's a little bit. But this will go ahead and kill them all off and aerate the dirt. So we're gonna do that all the way down this bed, all the way back down the other side once it's weeded. And then we'll get back with you after we have a final process. All right, so when we was planting all this, we was you know, we was talking about how we had plucked most of the bottom stems off the tomato plants and we buried them really, really deep so that we could have like a really, really good root structure. So as you can see, this plant is already like starting to die off. The main beam is still really green, but all the limbs are starting to die. But we're gonna pull this up and show you at the base just how good. I mean, that root's a 1/4 inch thick and a good 10 inches long, and it broke off, the tip of it broke off. So I mean, that's the reason why we buried them so deep, was so that you would have a really good root structure to be able to grow. These plants grew so tall, I don't know if you can see up here, this is a 4 foot tall cattle panel, and it's raised up about a 1/2 foot off the ground. So it had 4.5 foot roughly of trellising, and they grew up 3 feet. Look, I'm gonna come around here because Anna was holding that up. This is the top of that same plant that goes way up here. There's a green tomato on there right there.
Missed that one.
And so I mean, they grew like 7 feet tall, maybe even 8 feet tall. I'm not real sure, but they grew taller than our trellis. So I don't know what we're gonna do next year, because we're gonna plant them the same next year. So I may end up having to extend my post up and run a trellis a lot taller and get a ladder to pick tomatoes, I guess. I don't know, you know, I mean, that's just, it's crazy. So that's what good root structure does for you, is it grows really, really good plants. And we got a lot of tomatoes off these things. And then a few weeks ago, it rained for like 2 weeks straight. So they wasn't really able to get out here, and got bugs flying around me. They wasn't really able to get out here and pick a whole lot. You know, they picked some here, there, and yonder, but it was a ton whenever I got home. And well, we got a basket over there full of green ones that was still on it, even though it's dying. They were still growing tomatoes. So anyway, this is what the beds look like. As you can see, they're still, you know, pepper plant, pepper. That's a weed right there. That ain't a pepper plant.
I bet.
So we churned it all up. We're gonna these pepper plants, we're gonna try to keep them over winter. So we're gonna leave them in the ground until next month. There's a caterpillar on that. Until next month, October, and then in some kind of way you got to trim it back. Ashley knows all about that. So we're gonna trim them back and put them in pots and move them to where we can keep them warm and all that good stuff through the winter. And hopefully we'll have some really good pepper plant roots to start next year. It won't be the plant, it'll just be like a little stem sticking up, but we'll have really, really good roots to start with. So we're hoping to try to do that and get a jump start on the peppers. So we got, I don't know how many pepper plants we got. It's a lot. I'm not counting them right now. But anyway, we're gonna wrap this up. We still out here working. It's hot, and we got all the tomatoes off this row, and we got to weed it, and we got that bed all weeded and ready to go. But we still got 3 more beds to go. But anyway, we're gonna wrap this up. We hope maybe y'all learned something from this video. I don't know. That's the whole reason why we put these videos out, to try to help inform people as to how we do stuff. It may not be the right way, but that's how we do it. You know, it's our way, and so far it's been working pretty decent. So Anyway, we're gonna wrap this up. We'll see y'all on the next one.